Only time I've ever cheated was in high school. And by high school, I mean middle school, and maybe college, and my taxes, and on my driving test. Other than that, I never do it. My senior year, we had this teacher who didn't want to grade any of our tests. After each test, she would tell us to pass it to our neighbor. She would say all the answers out loud, we grade it, and then pass it back. I understood math perfectly until they started adding the alphabet to it. Like, is this a test, or were we supposed to memorize PlayStation cheat codes? Oh, okay, I didn't know we were being tested on Madden formations. Finish the test, trade with my neighbor. She gets 6 of them wrong. What's her name? Crystal? Okay. Hand the test back. Hey, yo, Crystal, I know you don't know me, but you got number 9 and number 10 wrong, but I wrote in the right answers for you, you know what I mean? Next test, I intentionally leave 2 answers blank. Pass them over to Crystal, grade Crystal's test, get my test back. I filled in the 2 answers that you left blank. Y'all already know what we doing for the rest of the semester. I've been out here getting this paper. Then one day, I'm sitting in 4th period. Lady comes over to intercom.
Yes, Mr. Richardson, can you send at a day?
What does that say? I think it's just a donkey.
Can you send a donkey, Thornay, to the administration office, please?
And all the kids are looking at me like, oh snap, Adonde's a thug. And I'm like, I've been out here getting this paper. Yes, I'm about that thug lifestyle. I woke up in jail once, no big deal. As soon as I step outside, I'm like, I'm so scared. I get over to see my administrator. Bad news, Adonde, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're probably not gonna graduate at the end of the semester. And I'm thinking, crap, somebody ratted on me for cheating. But I acted dumb, so I was like, what do you mean? Every senior needs to pass American history in order to graduate and walk. You're failing. The only way to pass is if you do really well on the final exam. I didn't even know I was failing this class. This American history teacher, Mr. Abatello, had a huge reputation around school for failing seniors, but that ain't about to be me. I've been out here getting this paper. You know what I mean? So then I get the idea to do something totally crazy, booty butt backwards. What if, now this is the big what if I actually study for the final? Like, it's like cheating, but I'm hiding the answers in my brain. My administrator called me back into his office like a week or 2 later. Just wanted to check in with you and let you know that we don't give out report cards until after graduation, but if you don't pass Mr. Abatello's class, you can't walk. So after you take your final, come see me. Mr. Abatello's gonna let me know if you passed or not. I go to Mr. Abatello's class. He starts telling us what parts of the book to study. I study my booty off. See, parents from the Caribbean, when they get mad, they rage blackout and grab whatever's closest to them and they just start swinging. Let me come home saying some junk about having to repeat my senior year. Bet money I get beat with a coffee table from IKEA. Day of the final, I get the test. And you know when you start taking a test, you start going through it really quickly and you skip the questions you don't know. Like, I get to this, okay, pass, okay, pass. I realized I got to the last question. I had skipped 80% of the questions. I didn't want to have to do it, but I'm gonna have to cheat. I look up at Mr. Abatello's desk just to make sure the clear is coast. Dude is cold, locked, staring at me. I fill out those answers to the best of my ability, and when it was time for me to go see my administrator, I just couldn't do it. So you know what I did instead? Went to graduation rehearsals like a boss, and then I took it up to CEO status, and then went to graduation having no idea if I actually passed American history. I get up on that stage, I'm about to walk, and I make eye contact with my administrator, and he's like, You know when you get like really scared about something, you start making deals with God, like, please, Jesus in heaven, if you let me graduate today, I will never cheat again. And then all of a sudden, I hear them call my name, and I'm like, oh snap, son! I walk up all nonchalant like I'm supposed to be there. And to this day, I still have no idea. This whole experience starts off with you waiting in some ungodly long line. And unless you're a baller, or an Armenian prince, or really popular on YouTube, you're most likely gonna be in a line. So you get in, everything is overpriced. Especially if you go clubbing in LA or New York. What? And here's something else I don't understand, like, if you get a table, that bottle magically, soon as it crosses the club entrance threshold, it becomes $5 million a bottle. And we also, a lot of you girls know about this, more than the guys, the creepsters. You've got 2 categories of creepsters. The creepsters that usually hover around the bar. Those are the awkward people in the club with questionable motives. And a quick side note, never ever accept a drink unless you watch it being poured from the bottle. Even some of your quote-unquote friends have questionable motives. You got the bar creepsters, and then you got the dance floor creepsters. You're in the middle of dancing to Beyonce, and then this dude just runs up and starts dry humping you. No words exchanged, that guy. And once you're settled in the club, one thing that nobody's gonna escape is the judgmental eyes. Guys posted up on the wall, giving other guys the side eye. Girls, y'all do it too.
Oh my God, Becky, look at this wretch. Who does she think she is? Snapchatting in the middle of the dance floor.
It doesn't matter what you do, people will find a way to sit there and judge you. And can we talk about what the heck is up with these DJs nowadays? Like, they play one good song and then 2 hours of filler. And now that I'm on that topic, you have to yell so loud to communicate even the simplest message to anybody that you're losing your voice after you've been at the club for an hour. And by this point, that overpriced drink is starting to talk to you. So now you gotta break the seal. And you go to the bathroom, guess what? There's another line there. So you finish handling your business, you turn around and go to the sink, and there's like a bathroom bellhop there, and he's got like blow pops and Skittles and Starburst. He's got his tip jar, all right? He's holding the soap. As soon as you put your hands in the sink, he's putting his hands in there, helping you wash your hands too. Like, bro, I got this. I don't need your help. You're at a 7, I need you at about a 2 right now. So next thing you know, boom, the club's closed, and they turn these big old spotlights that they got from like the Starship Enterprise, like the brightest lights you've ever seen in your life. And here comes security and Popo yelling at you to get out of the club. So you're being herded like sheep outside of this club. Half the girls are barefoot, and guess where you end up next? That nearby pizza or Colombian food place that stays open crazy late. Or if you're rich, you're gonna end up at IHOP or Denny's. And best believe you're gonna be surrounded by all the same club people that you just were hanging out with. The table right across from you is gonna be those creepsters, and he's gonna be sitting with them same judgmental girls. They're gonna be looking at you like,
Ew, look, Becky, that same wretch from the club. Ew, she just dipped her French fries into her pancake syrup on her shirt stack. Who does that? Ew.
all I'm saying is, going to the club is not all what the rappers and the music videos make it out to be, is all I'm saying. You're supposed to go to school, get an education, and not fall in love with your teacher. How you gonna look when you're with your boys at school and your boys are like, yo, look at Alexis, dog. Nah, Alexis is she aight. But Miss Mernando. Our teachers make being a teacher look easy. I can only imagine if you were like an attractive teacher. I never was attracted to any of my teachers. Not never, not damn my life. Until second semester of college. Shout out to Valencia, Osceola campus. First day of class, I walk in like, why is this model sitting at the teacher's desk? Yo, her face. Stop it. So about a week into the semester, I'm just like, how do I stand out? Like, have you ever had a teacher that you thought was cute? How do you get their attention? If you get all A's, somebody she's taught before has got all A's. Maybe if I fail, like, worse than she's ever seen anybody fail, ever. Let's try that. So, you know, when I walked by her one day, I checked her ring situation, and she ain't have no engagement ring, no wedding ring, no nothing. It's open season, my dude. I noticed I was getting like randomly territorial over her. A student would walk up to her like,
Miss McKnight, I noticed the value of X.
I wanted to run over and be like, yo, back up before you get smacked up. The more and more the days went on, the more and more confused I got, because I was kind of like, just, you're single, I'm single. Besides you being my teacher and probably losing your job, what's the problem? So the first test comes along, bomb it. Second and third test, bomb those. Okay, boom. 3 F's, her office email was the equivalent of the DM. So let me slide on up in here. Yeah, I'm the guy who's in your Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. 3rd row from the left, 2nd row from the back, that's me. And then I realized, I'm so lost in this class, I don't even know what to ask. Like, I don't even know what I don't know. Yeah, Miss McKnight, I don't understand. Send. So she answers one of my questions, then I was like, oh, by the way, your fit was on point today. Them shoes went with that outfit like perfectly. Not a smooth transition, but I sent it. And this girl went radio silent. Ghost protocol. I hit her up a few days later, she ain't even replied to that. The gig was up. I mean, it ain't even like you got a boyfriend. Whoa. Come here. Come here, get closer. Let me see that. What is that? You got a boyfriend now? You engaged? I'll leave you alone for 1 weekend, bro. 1 weekend? Oh, I was hot, boy. Okay, I gotta abort because my mission essentially was to get the lowest grade you've ever seen. Now I gotta somehow salvage this mission and pass this class. You out here doing your own thing, I'm about to, okay, fine. You wanna act single, I'ma be single too. I failed that class so hard. I got my grades and I was like, screw it. I'ma be not stripper, animator. I get those confused sometimes. We in here, we got a table. My boys keep ordering bottles. We got models. We don't really have models. There were these like 3 girls that were like 10 feet away from our table. All of a sudden, corner of my eye, I see Mike. He don't look good at all. He's swaying and then boom, hits the ground face first. But on his way down, he hits his table and spills a drink. The 10 dudes get up. They all start cursing. They look like they about to do something to Mike. So I tap Armin. Hey, yo, it's morphin' time up in this piece. And then I jump up on the couch next to these dudes. My whole squad sees this. We don't exchange words. We're on that Wi-Fi. So it's 10 of them surrounding Mike. I know there's 10 of us surrounding them. And I'm standing up here on the couch like, yo, act right or go night-night. I wish you would, son. We about to shut the whole club down. So the dude closest to Mike sees what's about to transpire. So he's like, yo, everybody relax. It's cool. And he helps Mike up. I'm not quick to rush into altercations, but the DJ was playing Beyonce. Wave your hands side, two side, put it in the air. Normally I would have been like, guys, no, stop. But the 7-Eleven, y'all, I don't know what that beat does something to me. So we squash it, and I just out of good faith, we buy them a whole new bottle. We're at our table, they're at their table, we go back to partying, but I'm still watching them at the corner of my eye, because I'll still shut this club down. So we dancing and partying until about 3 o'clock in the morning, then we leave. We're outside the club. I look over at Yankee. Yankee's like mad dogging the dudes that Mike bumped into. Here I am. Look over here. Don't be mean mugging nobody. Look. Here I go. Everybody, we're moving. I'm not trying to have nothing pop off. My boys get into a fight, end up in Mexican jail. So I'm like, food, andale, let's go. We all start walking down the street. As we're walking, there's this ambulance creeping forward down the middle of the street, just really slowly, just like foot off the brakes, creeping forward behind us. We walk up about a block. Every time we move forward a little bit, the ambulance moves forward a little bit. And then John stops and turns around and he goes, yo, what's up? Here come all the dudes from the VIP next to us. And I'm like, no, not today. One of their dudes starts walking up to Listen, Linda. I care a lot about people. I don't know you guys, but I care about you too. This is my squad. I love them to death. There's a lot of hate in the world. Let's not add to it. So they were like, okay, cool. We're squashing it. So me and all the 10 dudes in my posse, we all split like the Red Sea and let these dudes walk past us. So one by one, they're all kind of giving us these looks as they walk through. It was so tense, you could cut the tension with a knife. All 9 of the dudes make it through just fine, and the last guy in the line, he's walking through, then he looks at me, and then he looks over to my boy Mike, and pow! Pushes Mike like a power thrust. Mike goes flying back like a freaking action movie. Bam! Let's get ready to rumble! Pew! Ball guy takes off. Before Mike even gets up off the ground, I look up the street. Yankee ran up, jumped, put this guy in the headlock and just started hitting him. Boom, 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 over and over. The other 9 guys jump on Yankee, and then all of our boys, boom, it's on. So they're pairing off one-on-one. So now I'm in full Mother Goose mode. Like I'm on the sidelines going, stop it, guys, stop it! All the other guys that walked ahead, they have no idea that their boy just started this whole fight. They're thinking that we just jumped them for no reason. I'm standing there watching this like, it's probably best if I don't jump into this. I probably play more fighting games than all these dudes here combined. Mess around, I jump in here, throw a fireball for real. Not the whiskey, a real fireball. We about to shut all of Mexico down. I figure out I might jump in if my boys start losing. So I just stand back in the cut like M. Bison. Like I'm the boss character. You gotta fight your way to me. They finally all get up and they just start running. They find this little motel. They run in and close the door and they hold it shut. One of our guys, John, he's still hyped up listening to Beyonce from the club. Punches through the glass door. I'm sure from their POV, they're looking out at John. His eyes are all glowing, looking like a legit Terminator. The top half of the glass door drops down and cuts his arm open. Guess who shows up? Yup, the Popo. Yankee's like, yo, sWooZie, keep walking. Let's go. Bro, we can't leave our boys. Yeah, but we can't break them out of jail if we're all in jail. Bounce. Cops round up all of our boys except for me and Yankee. We walk away. After about 5 minutes, we realize they're probably not going to jail. So we walk back up on them. Here you guys go. Here's actual footage of this happening. The ambulance that was following us saw everything. So they told the cops, yo, these guys didn't start the fight. The guys that ran ahead, they started everything, so we're good. John's arm is sliced open. So they take John to the back of the ambulance. I asked one of the paramedic guys, I'm like, why were y'all following us? Hermano, we see these things every night. Every night? Every night. Escumi? Every night? Claro que sí. Is your spidey senses going off? Or like internal smoke detectors? Something's wrong. I smell it. Something's wrong. For me, mostly, it's girls. Pretty much every girl I've dated has given me anxiety. And a lot of times, it's when they have that guy friend who blatantly shows that they like my girl, but she wanna act oblivious about it. And we'll like hang out with the dude all the time, stay at his house till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yo, not for nothing, but I think your boy Christian, low frequency likes you.
What are you talking about?
You don't think it's kind of suspicious that he bought you a $200 gift card for Victoria's Secret?
Relax. It's my birthday present, he said.
Your birthday's not for another 5 months.
Adonda, you're being ridiculous. Anyways, let me call you back. I'm at the spa with Christian. We're about to get couples massages.
You know what makes me real paranoid when I have a girlfriend? These rap songs? For whatever reason, these dudes love saying, yo, I smashed your girl. So, any future girlfriends, if I ever call you and leave you a voicemail like, where you at? Why you ain't pick up the phone? Is Gucci Man over there? Mira, is he over there? He better not be over there. You know what else? Planes. Planes give me anxiety too. I don't even have a phobia of flying. It's just every time I go to board a plane, my brain always goes,
hey, you know what we haven't thought about in a long time? Final Destination. Or Lost, the first episode when the plane crashes and rips in two. Or Castaway. Wilson! Anyways, I'm sure we'll be fine though.
do not let there be turbulence. Hit one bump, boom. That's it. We're all dead. It's all over. Lord Jesus, take the wheel and my life. I'm coming, Jesus. You know what else? Weed. That's part of the reason I don't smoke it. You know, I tried it a few times back when all the hip hoppers were always putting it in their songs. They don't do it so much anymore, right? So I was like, you know, let me try it. I stopped. That junk would make me so paranoid and give me anxiety. Up until this year, it was illegal in Orlando. So I'd be sitting at my friend's house, be passing the weed around, and I'd be like, guys, nobody freak out. There's a DirecTV van outside. Jonathan, did you call for satellite repair? It's a cop. It's an undercover cop. Who snitched? Oh my God, I'm going to jail. I can't breathe. Okay, which one of y'all snitched? Harry, was it you? Don't try to act like you don't know what snitches get. Plus, I have a bunch of friends who like to do this thing where they don't think their thoughts through to conclusions. See, all my female friends love puppies and just dogs in general. Me and all my friends will be in the car, right? Everybody in the car doesn't smoke weed except for the person in the passenger seat who is a known weed smoker and always has weed on them. But my lady friends will be in the car, we'll be at a gas station, they'll look over, see a police car and the word K9 on the side, and they'll be like, oh, run over to the police car. Oh my God, officer, roll in the window, officer. I saw K9 written on your door. Is there a dog in here? You wanna pet him?
Yes, please, oh my God, please. Oh my God, I just cry whenever I see a dog because I don't know what else to do.
Bring the dog back to the car. This is a drug-sniffing dog. Dog be looking at us like, I know. Yeah, my life is one big ball of anxiety. Wait, Cassie or Scarlett Johansson fine. She was more like Ellen Page, super cute girl next door. Me and Desiree had this class together. We did nothing in this class. You either watched TV, went to sleep, or goofed around with the other kids in the class. So me and Desiree would flirt and chat, and one day, Desiree's like, Adonde, my back is just killing me. Can you give me a massage? So I'm massaging this girl. A few days later, all of a sudden, some random dude in the hall is giving me the stink eye every time I see him. And I'm just like, dude, who are you? I don't even know you. Homeboy, don't try to act like I'm not 30 deep up in this piece. Security run up and we crush him. Anywhoosies. A few days later, we're back in class and I'm massaging Desiree. And I don't even know how we got on the topic, but she's like, Donde, oh my gosh, my boyfriend hates you. And I'm like, hold up. Does your boyfriend look like this, and this? Yeah. He don't even know me. How he gonna hate me? Well, you know, I talk about you sometimes to him, and he's just really jealous. Does he know that I give you massages every day? No. Okay, well, this massaging stuff is gonna have to stop. Even though it's harmless and we're in a room full of people, I'm gonna respect your relationship. It kind of feels like I'm back in high school because I get these random emails. My boyfriend hates you because I talk about you and I quote your videos from time to time, and every time he walks by my computer, he sees you on my screen. First of all, fellas, that insecurity stuff is a turn off. Second of all, if you want your girlfriend all googly-eyed over anybody on the internet, trust me, you want her to be googly-eyed over the dude who's saving himself till marriage. Anywhoosies, back to the story. Fast forward, me and Desiree in class. Donde, I broke up with my boyfriend. Bam, we back to massaging. As I'm massaging her, I'm like, hold on, Desiree. I'm the one always giving you massages. When am I gonna get a massage? Oh, I don't know if you're ready for my massages. I'm like, girl, quit playing. Give me my massage. I don't know if this girl went over on some Christian missionary trip to Beijing and learned the art of masseusing over there from them Asian girls. I'm like, Desiree, I don't know where you learned how to do that, but dang. Oh, you think that's good? You should have one of my massages when you're laying down. Girl, quit playing. I only live 15 minutes away from here. She's like, okay, I'll come over tonight. Hola, because I was just joking around. So that night, I'm trying to sneak this girl in my house because y'all know how it is when your mom sees you bring over a girl for the first time. So I sneak Desiree in through my side door, and I just got a new puppy. I get up into the room, boop, that door closes. I'm kidding. She's like, all right, lay down. I'm like, hola, girl. Ladies first. The tricky thing about having a girl at your house for the first time is expectations. You never quite know what that girl is thinking. I'm gonna be a gentleman. That is my MO. I was putting a lot into this massage. I wasn't getting the reaction that I was anticipating. 20 minutes. She gets up. Okay, your turn. Take off your shirt. Woof! I'm already oiled up. I'm ready to go. This girl straddles me and then begins this massage. It felt like I had 10 of those Asian girls all over me. Oh! 20 or 30 minutes later, Desiree crawls off of me. I'm thinking like a million different things. I'm like, okay, did this girl come over here expecting something to happen? I don't know where her head is at. You know what? I don't even know how long she's been single. Desiree, when did you break up with your boyfriend? 3 days ago. Oh, no. Donde, respect that relationship. We sit there watching TV for a while, and then she finally goes, so I'm gonna go. Open the door, and my puppy comes running in. Soon as he gets in there, he is all over her. So when they finish, she stands up, and I will never forget what Desiree said. Oh my gosh, puppy, you are so cute, and I am so glad somebody in this house had some intentions on licking me tonight, because I was beginning to think I wasted my time coming over here. Hola. Okay, see the inner bad boy on my left shoulder said, oh, grab this girl right now, body slam her on that bed, and show that girl what time it is. My conscience on my right shoulder was like, Adonde, she's been single for 3 days.
I mean, honestly, the rap game is dying. How'd this song even get on the radio? He's not even saying words, he's just like lifestyle. Like, really? Really? Oh, hold on, it's him. I don't know why you're tripping over that boy. Didn't y'all get married in the sequel? Yeah. That was a movie. We were acting. Me and Aladdin are both single. Okay, what did he say? LOL, sup, kiddo. Like, what does that even mean? No, sorry. He just wants to be friends with benefits. What? Wait, hold on. Look who decided to grace us with her presence. Miss Popular herself, acting all brand new with her Celine bag. This is a no flex zone. She knows better. Like, Frozen was good, but it wasn't that.
Finish a TV series and then you have to find new purpose in life. Like, you'll just be sitting there like, what am I supposed to do now? My sleep schedule gets so jacked up whenever I find a new TV show. Like, all day I'm tired, and then as soon as it's time to go to sleep, I'm wide awake. But I'm gonna tell y'all what makes me tired no matter what. Reading. True story, not exaggerating. Basically, what happens is whenever I find a new TV show, and then I go to try to read something, it does not go well. I can't say reading makes me sleepy because I can sit on Facebook and Twitter all day long and not get sleepy, which made me realize it's books. I'll be at Cold Stone putting all this vanilla Oreo deliciousness all up in my mouth, like size, holla at me because I'm on a diet, but not really because I do whatever I want. And every time I look next door and see somebody sitting outside Starbucks reading, I get so jello. Like, sometimes it just amazes me. I'll just sit and stare at them like I'm on a safari looking at a rare animal like, oh my god, look at them. They're actually turning the page.
pages.
I seriously think there's a factory somewhere where they just spray every single book with chloroform, because every time I sit down to read something, it's just like blah blah. And then I wake up like 2 days later. If anyone ever wanted to kidnap me and sell me on the black market in Bangkok, basically all they'd have to do is walk up on me and be like, hey, can you do me a favor and just read this out loud? And I'd be like, yeah, Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. True story, not exaggerating. But you know what else I noticed? I procrastinate a lot more whenever I find a new TV show. I just can't pull myself away. Like my puppy will be looking at me like, roar, roar, roar. And I'm like, Cooper, relax. Okay, I'm just gonna watch one more episode of Heroes, and then I'm gonna feed you, and we can go to the park and run in slow motion. Okay, just one more episode. And then Siler kills the girl that I've had a crush on for like half the season, and the episode suddenly ends, and I'll be like, no! One more episode. And then 15 hours later, I'm still watching this stupid show, and then my dog is laying next to the front door dead in a pool of his own pee-pee. If we had a lunch date at 3 and I don't show up until 3:45, don't blame me. Blame Lost. Like if you text me and I don't text you back, psh, Walking Dead marathon in black and white. I fail a test at school or I show up late for work. Yo, it was the My Little Pony mid-season finale last night, son. Don't even try to act like you didn't watch it, okay? Brony, stand up. You know what though? It's much safer to invest your time into YouTube than it is for TV. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you drop from 14 million views one week to 7 million views the next week, guess what? YouTube ain't gonna be like, yo, your channel sucks. And you wanna know why they don't do that? Because it's not fair. I think the reason why these networks are so quick to cancel shows without giving us any closure is because they know there's not a whole lot of consequences. You ever heard the phrase, back by popular harassment? We should probably take that to the next level. Because if these network heads cancel shows and when they're in Santa Monica walking on the street, all of a sudden, or when they're out at a restaurant with their family and the servers start leaving little notes on the bottom of their bill. I'm not saying don't cancel shows, just if you're gonna cancel a show, give us 3 or 4 episodes of closure. Don't just pull the plug. 4 million viewers might be bad rating for television and not seem like a lot of people, until one of them steals your Mercedes. So network heads, next time you're in a meeting discussing what shows you're gonna pull the plug on and try to replace with new shows without giving us any closure, just remember, nowadays, people take their entertainment very seriously. So I get to Jane's house, knock on the door, Jane's mom lets me in. Walk into Jane's room and Jane and Pam are in there and they're like standing off in the corner and they're just like mumbling and whispering stuff. They see me come in, but they don't say anything to me. So I just figure it's like inside girly joke stuff, whatever. So I sit down on Jane's bed and call Warren. He picks up and I'm like, hey bro, I just got to Jane's house, just calling to see how far out you are. Warren's like, oh, you just got there? Okay, well, give me a few minutes. I'm running a little bit behind, but I'm on my way. Hang up the phone, and I look up, and now Jane is standing directly in front of me, and she has this, like, sinister, kinda evil, a half crack of a smile. The look on her face basically said, I'm up to no good. She leans over to her door, closes it, and locks it. Then she takes her hand, puts it on my chest, and slowly pushes me back onto the bed. She takes my hands, places them above my head, and then Pam swoops in, grabs them, and ties them up. I don't know if it was like a sock. I couldn't see what she was tying me with, but it felt like a sock. She put them Girl Scout knot tying skills to the test. Now, as my hands are being tied, I'm trying to process how fast everything is happening, because we haven't even said any words since I walked into this house, alright? Walked into the room, boom! So then Jane grabs the bottom of my shirt and lifts the shirt over my face. So now, like, my chest is all exposed and my massive muscles go bulging everywhere. Jane gets up, opens the door, leaves and shuts the door behind her. Then all of a sudden I start hearing Pam move around the room, and then she says, Adonde, if you just don't struggle and don't make any noise, this is gonna be a lot more fun for all of us. And I'm thinking, what the ham hock and P-funk does that eat? What are y'all about to do to me? So then I hear the door open and close again. I can't see anything. And then I hear their little girly, like, secret squirrel meeting there. All I hear is like murmuring and whispering, like, like, what the heck? You know what? I'm just gonna let this happen. See where this goes. And right after I finish that thought, I hear a beep. And then I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Are y'all recording this? And they don't even answer. They just keep giggling like... Now at this point, I was gonna start putting up a little bit of a fight and start struggling, but then I thought, once this ends up on WorldStar, they can't see my face. Girls are just gonna be watching this and like, ooh, who's this guy on the bed? Dang, but he got a really nice body though. So then I hear Pam walk around to the side of the bed where my hands are, and then Jane lays down on the bed next to me. There's this awkward silence in the room, and then all of a sudden I feel something that's hot, but cold at the same time. Wet. She starts rubbing ice all over my chest. So as soon as I feel it, I jump up like, ah! Pam quickly grabs me and like puts her hand over my mouth, and I'm just like, Jane is now like doing the alphabet with ice on my chest, and then she just suddenly stops, and there's awkward silence again. And I started thinking like, okay, these girls get really quiet, like they're nervous because they're about to go to the next level. And that's exactly what happens. Jane busts out with 2 blocks of ice, one in each hand, and she's going up and down like the sides of my body. And let me tell you something, guys, that did not feel good. That was unwanted icicle assault, 2nd degree. You know, warm me up to this. I probably would have liked it if you would have like eased me into this, not just assault me and force your ice religion on me. I start up making noise again. I'm trying to free myself before they start busting out more crazy stuff. Like they start pouring hot wax on me. I end up looking like Han Solo covered in carbonite. So then Jane like slows down and she takes 1 ice cube and she starts doing circles around my belly button. And then I feel her fingertips with her other hands creep around the top line of my boxers. And in my head, I'm like, I know this girl is not about to go to the no-no zone. Like, I know this. This is about to be too hot for YouTube. Then Jane lifts my boxers, and then all of a sudden I hear, dun, 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 and her mom opens the door. Hey, Jane, Warren's hit. Like, parents, you don't knock and open the door the same. It defeats the purpose. Okay, you knock and you wait for the go ahead. Because Jane's mom pulled the whole knock as I opened the door thing, and guess what she saw? The first thing, boom. Yup. Jane holding my boxers up, ice in hand, very obvious what you're about to do with it. My shirt over my face, and you know my muscles were bulging all over the place. They were glistening from the ice. Those glistening muscles everywhere. I'm sure she dropped her cup in slow motion and was like absolutely appalled at what she saw. And that's another thing, like why don't parents ever walk in on us like when we're doing homework or when we're cramming and, you know, being a good student? They always walk in on us when we're doing some junk that's scandalous. Apparently, Jane forgot to re-lock the door when she came back in with the ice. So Jane's mom turned and walked away. Warren walks in like, did I come at a bad time? Anytime I went to Jane's house, like the next 3 months, it was so awkward around her mom. Like, her mom would not speak a word to me. She'd just walk by me and give me like that Luigi death glare from Mario Kart. And it doesn't end there, because for the next few months, anytime Jane and Pam would see me like out in public with a bunch of our friends around, they would always address me as Ice Boy. So they'd be like, hey Ice Boy, what's up? And all of our friends are like, why the heck are y'all calling him Ice Boy?
No reason.
Now, I never did see 100% if Pam was actually recording me. However, if that Ice Boy footage ever gets uploaded to YouTube, I'm gonna need y'all's help to flag it. If you don't even watch it, just like flag it ASAP Rocky. Because if it ever got uploaded and went viral, that could be bad. I'm laying around the house naked. I don't even know if that's important to the story. But anyways, my phone rings. It's my boy. I'm like, hello?
sWooZ, I met this girl on Call of Duty. Get online and play with us right now.
I don't have COD, and I'm not about to spend $60 to download it just so I can play with some girl. Actually, you know what? Send me a link to her Instagram. Let me see what this girl looks like. Okay, I just sent you the link. Scroll down. Let me know when you see the booty. As soon as I saw the picture he was talking about, I was like, pew! Deathmatch? What mode? And obviously, there's a handful of thirsty dudes in this party chat. This girl was dropping 50 kills per game. So I add her on Xbox, and then we add each other on Snapchat, Instagram, blah, 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 phone number. Every now and then, I'll see this dude pop up on her social. So one day we're on Call of Duty, we're playing, I'm sucking as usual, shooting at my own teammates, and I go, this dude that be popping up on your gram, is that your man's?
It's complicated.
Okay, I was just curious. So fast forward a few months, I moved to LA, post a video on YouTube about it, she sees it and texts me like,
You moved to LA? I'm visiting LA in a few months. I know so many good food places. Let's hang out when I get there.
So I call up my boy like, yo, your Call of Duty girl wants to hang out.
Do you know how much hatred I have toward you, RN? I just want to eat a bowl of spaghetti off that booty.
She hits me up when she gets to town. I go pick her up in the Uber. We Uber over to Venice Beach. We go to some restaurant right next to Cold Stone for you stalkers. So then I bring up like, yo, what's the situation with your mans?
I don't even know.
We're on, we're off. The easy answer, we're over. Okay, I was just curious. And then right after she tells me that, this girl just starts throwing back shots. She starts drinking like a fish at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So we finish eating and she looks at me and goes, "Let's go back to your place." And then I go, "Negro, you finna die." My boy calls me. I pick up and I'm trying to talk in code. I'm like, "Yeah, bro, can't talk right now. I have the plans to the Death Star and I'm headed back to Alderaan. Just answer me yes or no, okay? The booty's it's not Photoshop, right? The booty's real?
Is it nice and perky, and can you bounce quarters off of it all day?
Affirmative.
Is the booty 10 out of 10 IGN? You wouldn't even know she existed if not for me.
Okay, bro, I gotta go, bye. We get to my place, this girl beelines right to the kitchen and starts drinking some more. We start playing some Mario Kart, then she gets a notification on her phone.
Oh my glob, my boyfriend's trying to hack my Snapchat.
I thought you said you was single, bruh.
It's complicated, Adonde.
So she runs out to the balcony, calls her boyfriend, and starts smoking. I go into my bedroom and lay down. Back at the restaurant, I had half a shot of Patron. It all hit me at once. The room's starting to spin. I'm a lightweight. She gets off the phone, comes into my bedroom, and then straddles me on the bed. What are you doing? It's okay. I cheat on him. He cheats on me. It's fine. It's not that kind of show over here. Sorry about it. If I wanted you, I could have you. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of hot with her talking like this, but she went in, and right before our lips touched, I was like, 9! A, you lied about having a boyfriend. B, you probably taste like ashtray. You ain't getting none of this candy. A few weeks later, her and her boyfriend officially broke up. And now that you're all caught up, let me give you the update. She plays a lot of Overwatch now. She's single, and she's coming to town in a few weeks. So this may or may not be the last time you hear about Call of Duty Booty Girl. Negro, you finna die. I was promoting cheating because cheating is an easy way to get an F if you get caught. And I was a good kid in high school. I had perfect attendance. I didn't skip class. I didn't talk back to my teachers. But I realized something. School is an institution that almost silently encourages cheating. We gotta wake up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. We gotta wait on the corner for the bus. You get to school, and when you finally come out of zombie mode, there's distractions around every corner. Have you seen what these girls are wearing to school nowadays? And they're literally maturing right in front of your eyes. You'll be sitting in class, and then buttons on Chrissy's blouse are just popping off. And then you got those teachers who just teach you the same boring way that their teachers taught them. I mean, don't get me wrong. You got plenty of really cool teachers out there who show their classroom YouTube videos and they'll crack a joke every once in a while. But there are boring teachers all over the place. I know for a lot of these teachers, they look at it as a job. You don't have to be boring. And another thing you don't have to do is you don't have to give us 5 tests on the same day. Most teachers are pretty smart, and I'm not sure why it's not a universal thing by now that all the big science-related tests are on Monday, all the math tests are on Tuesday, English on Wednesday. Nice, clean, structured. No, makes too much sense. I think some of these teachers do it just to mess with us. I can see it now. Teachers in the break room. Hey, Jim. Hey, Bob. Crazy weather we're having, huh? Yeah. Hey, when's your next test? Let's coordinate. How's Thursday? Thursday's perfect. You know what? I'll give them a test too and tell them that it'll count 20% to their overall grade. Nah, make it 30%. You think 30's better? Yeah, we gotta make it stressful for these kids, you know? Give them a taste of what it's like in the real world. It's hard out here for a pimp. Yeah, for sure, I know. Word to the mothership. You know what? And on Friday, I'll give them a take-home test, and none of the answers are gonna be in the textbooks. That'll totally ruin their weekend. Jim, yeah, you're a genius. I guarantee you those kind of conversations go down when students aren't around. And when we have to juggle a social life, an online gaming drama, and a job, then you pile on multiple tests, you practically force our hand and give us no option but to collaborate. This girl Yolanda approached me and asked me if I wanted to be included in her cheat circle. She told me her plan, and on test day she'd take the test, pass it back to Dana, Dana would pass it to me, I'd pass it to Jamie, boom. My response was kind of like, oh, that's a pretty good plan. If 2 of the 4 people don't mind getting an F. What is this, amateur hour? I mean, luckily for you guys, this is not my first pony show. By the time you do all the work and finish your test and you pass that back, class is gonna be over. So I came up with a new plan right on the spot that put her plan to shame. I told her I've been watching Mr. Hare, and on test day, he always reaches into the bottom left drawer at his desk and hands out the test. So here's what's gonna happen. Dana, he's gonna be the legs. I'm gonna be the eyes. Yolanda, you're gonna be the brains, and Jamie gets a free ride. She's gonna be the freeloader because there's always a freeloader. Put the plan in motion. The janitor opens the door to his class before first period at 7:05. Mr. Hare doesn't show up until 7:15 like clockwork every day. He's consistent. I like that. Day of the test, it's go time. 7:05, janitor opens the door, me and Dana walk up. A few kids walk in and sit down. Like, we weren't expecting kids to be anxious to get into the class, so there were eyewitnesses. But we don't abort, because we're fearless like that. Dana walks in, heads for the desk. None of the kids notice him. He opens the bottom drawer. I'm posted up, looking out for Mr. Hare by the door. Ninja blood, all up on deck. On the lookout. If there's trouble, I knock one time and dip. Risk level, medium. One knock, Dana, one knock is all you get. Dana gets the test, he folds it, doesn't put it in his pocket, no. He puts them in his underwear. It makes it more dramatic that way. And plus, if an administrator catches us, they're not gonna check his no-no zone. They're gonna check his pockets and his book bag. Not my idea, but too good to change it. Dana leaves the classroom. I follow exactly one car length behind. We turn the corner, boom, he hands the test off to me. I handle it with extreme care. I don't know where you've been, Dana. Yolanda meets me next to the library. I pass the test off to her. Yolanda, if you're watching this, I'm sorry for never telling you where Dana stashed the test. I really didn't want you to have to find out like this, but I couldn't jeopardize the mission. Yolanda takes the test, and in first period, she does all the work on a separate piece of paper and then destroys the original. Algebra 2 is third period. We get to class, it's test time. Yolanda pulls out her loose leaf and copies it down. She's done in 5 minutes. Holla at a playa, Guinness Books. Passes it to Dana. Dana copies. Passes it to me. I copy. Passes it to Jamie. Boom! We are so ninja mode right now. It hurts to be this good looking. And we all get A's, except for me. I get a B. I take one for the team. Next test day comes along. Guess where I'm at 7:06 a.m., player? Posted up on the wall like a boss. What I start doing too is talking to random friends as they pass, because I don't want to look too suspicioso. Standing there by myself. Get the test from Dana. HB toss left to Yolanda. Come test time, Mr. Hare has a surprise for us now. He wants us to show all of our work. Now, Yolanda put all the work on the paper, but it's cool. I don't want to be too cookie cutter. So, I sprinkle a little Sudoku graph in there, put some random numbers and letters in there just to make it look really confusing, but kinda like I know what I'm talking about. Boom! B+, baby, let go! I'm a method actor, guys, so I play the role. I start raising my hand whenever he's teaching now. I ask some questions even though I have no idea what this man is talking about. I commit. I don't want to look suspicioso when all these random good grades start dropping in my lap. We collaborate like this for about 4 or 5 tests, and we get efficient at it. Dana would be in and out of that classroom sometimes in like 5 seconds. Fast forward to third period, bell rings, and Mr. Hare just sits at his desk. Then he looks over at me, Yolanda, Dana, and Jamie, and he's like, a student from my first period class said they saw somebody go into my desk this morning and take a test out before I got here. I don't know how long this has been going on, but if I find out who did it, anybody that's involved is not only getting an F in my class, but I'm gonna do everything within my power to get them expelled from school. He said a whole entire spiel while looking at me, Dana, Yolanda, and Jamie. I failed that test that day. Thank goodness the semester was pretty much over and we only had like one other test after that one, and I didn't do so well in that. You already know that I share a lot of my personal life on YouTube, so I'll skip over a lot of the boring parts and get right to the juicy stuff. I was born on a little island in the Caribbean called Trinidad. What some of you guys don't know is I was actually conceived out of wedlock. I was an accident. My parents were still in college. These things happen. They got married 3 months before I was born and then moved to Trinidad. 2 years after I was born, my little sister Daka came along and we played outside all the time. I'll never forget, there was this girl that lived directly behind me. She was like 17 and she was so beautiful. One day I was playing with my toys and she took one of my action figures, stood him up, and drew him. I thought this was witchcraft. I grabbed my own pencil and paper and started drawing too. I showed my parents and they freaked out. Even though it probably looked like crap, that was the right encouragement at the right time, and I drew almost every day from that day on. Now in Trinidad, I lived in a town called Digomatin, and at the time, it was a pretty rough area. Like, I remember going to the bank and my dad would tell me, if some guys come in here wearing masks and they start screaming and waving guns around, just lay down on the floor, don't look at them. And I remember waking up one night and saw some random guy in my hallway and then another random guy going through my drawer, and I was like, oh, I've been expecting you guys. Well, I know what to do. I'm just gonna lay here and look away. I wake up the next morning and walk into the living room. Yeah, we've been robbed. So as a safety measure, my parents put bars on all the doors and all the windows, and then we got like 10 attack guard dogs. And some of you guys might have noticed I have a little scar on my left cheek. That's because one of those dogs attacked me. A few months after that, we packed up all of our stuff and moved to America. The first thing I noticed is that the soda here tasted really nasty. Second thing I noticed, y'all had cable TV. See, in Trinidad, we only had 2 channels. One that showed Looney Tunes all day, and another channel that showed old kung fu movies with the cheesy sound effects. And then I discovered the Disney animated movies. Shortly after I discovered Disney, I discovered anime. And right around the time I found anime, I got into video games. When I had that controller in my hand, everything in the world just felt right. Well, you know, I didn't perform too well in school because I was so obsessed. My dad was really big on grades. I don't know, it's like when I would study, I would get bad grades. And when I wouldn't study, I would still get bad grades. So it just felt like a lose-lose situation. Meanwhile, my sister is getting like A's and B's, and whenever we get good grades, he would reward us with stuff. So here she is, like, you know, at 9 years old, but he just bought her a Lexus and a TV and a bunch of crap that she doesn't need. It was around this time that I got my hands on a camcorder. This is way before YouTube. I'd record little video blogs and then have my friends come over and I'd sit them down and watch it. Now from kindergarten to 5th grade, like so many other YouTubers that you've seen to draw my lives for, I got bullied too. In middle school, my parents sent me to a private school and I got bullied there too. It was also around this time that all my friends started getting girlfriends. Anytime any relationship drama would start, I, for whatever reason, became the guy that everybody would come to. So after school every day, I was literally on the phone for hours talking to different friends that was having different relationship problems. I'd hear myself give some advice and I'd be like, yo, I have to write this down because 13-year-olds aren't supposed to be thinking like this. Now at this private school, they would borderline force Jesus down your throat. And as I'm reading along in my Bible, it's saying how Jesus was very humble and would share his knowledge. That's not what these guys were doing. Now, my parents started to notice that my teachers weren't really that qualified. So in 10th grade, they sent me to a public school. And believe it or not, the period that I dreaded the most was lunch because I had 0 friends. So what I would do is I would buy my lunch, go outside by myself, and eat. It was pretty depressing. I was so happy when I actually started making friends. So when I started going to the public school, I could wear whatever I want, and I started wearing a lot of Nike clothes. And kids started calling me Nike Boy, some friends called me Swoosh, and then Swoosh eventually evolved into the name sWooZie. One of my friends that I got in good with, his name was Will. And Will worked at Disney. Every other day he would come in with these hilarious stories about his job and the people that he worked with and the guests that would come in at Disney. I needed some money to support my video game habit, so I figured, hey, let me try Disney's. And I got hired. I really wanted to make friends with all the college program kids, but the managers did a very good job of quarantining me to the point to where it wasn't cool to hang out with me at all. Stopped working at Disney, but the one job that I really enjoyed was when I got the job at Hard Rock Hotel. And it was around this time that a little game fell into my lap called Dead or Alive. And when I got online with it, there weren't a lot of people that were beating me. I was just going on like 150 game win streaks before I'd get a single loss. People would join my room just to watch me. Word of mouth about me spread really quickly in DOA because of how I played with this character. I got so involved in this game, like I found a fan website, I was writing articles, I was doing interviews. DOA 4 came out and they changed up so many moves for my character. I had no style in the game anymore. Like all the moves that I built my style around were gone. It's almost like telling Michael Jackson, we need you to perform, you can't do the moonwalk, you can't grab your crotch, you can't say hee hee, can't do none of that. Pretty much stopped playing DOA seriously and was just doing school and working at Hard Rock Hotel full time. One of the things I loved working at Hard Rock, you got to hang out with celebrities all the time. I would see some celebrities come out there who hated their fans. I'm not even joking with you guys. I graduated high school and then everyone was asking me that question, okay, what are you gonna do now that you're in the real world? And I would tell people, I wanna do a movie. I wanna be a writer / director. And everyone with the exception of about 3 people did a very good job of stomping all over my dreams. Now, because I loved animation, I applied at Ringling School of Art and Design and CalArts. I get into one of these really deep conversations that you have, you know, with your friends, and she was saying, you know, when I say I love a guy, I show it. When I say I love God, I don't really show it. And that conversation stuck with me for a few days, and coincidentally, I heard somebody else give an interesting point that kind of picked up where that conversation left off, and he said, people talk about beliefs. If this stuff is real, you should be able to test it, you should be able to apply it to your life, you should be able to see the results, and everybody around you should be able to see the results. Planes weigh 84,000 pounds. There's nothing about that big chunk of steel that should allow it to fly at 30,000 feet. When you add rubber in the right place and you curve that metal a certain way and get it to a certain speed, there's a whole list of rules that once you apply it to that piece of metal, that will allow us to do the impossible. And just the way he was putting it all together, it really stuck with me. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let me try to apply some of these moral rules to my lifestyle. All of a sudden, my life got 10 times worse. CalArts denied me. Ringling denied me. Saved up all summer to hook up my car. it got broken into and they stole everything. My girlfriend, she cheated on me. I did a really good job of masking how I really felt on the outside, but everything was going wrong. I remember coming home after a bad day and I went over to YouTube and I found this video from this guy called Winecone, and the videos he was putting up back then had me rolling. Like, I remember watching one of his videos and I laughed so hard. If I ever get on YouTube, this is gonna be my primary objective, is to give people what I feel right now. One day out of the complete blue random, I get a call from this girl named Diane. Now Diane starts telling me how there's gonna be this gaming event, it's gonna be on TV, it's gonna be in San Francisco. And because I was really rusty and not really playing DOA 4 that much, I tried to back out like a little punk, like, nah, She said, as soon as we pick you up from the airport, we will give you $500 cash, and once you get there, you're gonna be competing for $10,000. And you'll be on TV. Okay, at that point she had me. And you guys remember how I said I was having a string of bad luck? Guess what happened next? Yeah, my Xbox got the red ring of death, so I could not practice. Flew over to San Francisco, came in third, and then went back to work at Hard Rock Hotel. Now, once I got back to work, I was constantly coming back from my shifts late, because once word started spreading around the hotel that I'm gonna be on TV, everybody wanted to stop me and ask me how I got into the gaming thing. You know what? I'm just gonna make a YouTube channel, and I'll update everybody there, so that way I'm not like a broken record 90 times a day repeating the same thing. And I slowly felt myself getting gradually addicted to uploading videos. So, shortly after this, I stumbled onto an interview at cgchannel.com where they were interviewing one of the top guys at ILM. And toward the end of the interview, he said he was going through the process of finding a project that would take him from 0 to 60 for their first attempt at making a feature film. I just called up ILM and got a hold of this guy. He actually patched me through to his superior, Patty Blau. And as I'm talking to this lady, I'm looking her up on IMDb. Worked on Jurassic Park, she worked on Back to the Future 3, she worked on Star Wars Episode 6. So I told her about my script, she told me where to send it, she got back to me and she was like, this is one of the most layered screenplays I've gotten in years. For our first project, we kind of wanted to target the Shrek audience and demographic. This project is more PG-13, so unfortunately we're going to have to pass, and they actually passed on my script to make the movie Rango. Now, back in the gaming world, DirecTV announces that they're actually going to start a full-blown TV show about gaming. They're going to have a draft, and the best players that compete at this competition are going to get $30,000 and be on a team. And you guys know the expression, don't quit your day job? That's exactly what I did, okay? I saved up for about a month and a half, and then I kind of just went on call, and it was the scariest move I had ever made in my entire life. Because most of the top DOA players, they didn't have day jobs, so they just sat home playing DOA, practicing all day, and I already had a lot of catching up to do. So, practiced my butt off, took my last $1,500, spent it on a plane ticket and a hotel, and I even overdrew from my bank account. Not gonna lie, I had to call my parents and ask for some money to get transferred over to my bank account. The day of the event, I was so nervous. And to add to all the stress, I had a manager walk up to me and he was like, some of these other top players, they're saying you're all hype, you're saying you're not good at this game, I hear you're a nice guy and everything, but I don't care about that. I'm here to pick the best players in DOA, and from what I'm hearing, you're not one of them. So don't be surprised if I don't pick you. So the tournament starts, I win one, I lose one, win one, lose one, and the players I was losing to weren't really considered top players. The managers at this tournament had the power to pull 2 players of their choosing out of the brackets and set them up on the main stage for a challenge match. Then the managers started calling me up for the challenge matches. They put me up against all the top DOA players that were there back to back. And I went undefeated. Then I got matched up with one of the dudes that I suspected was doing a lot of this trash talking, and I beat the brakes off this dude. And then for my final challenge match, I got set up to fight Master. Now, out of the last 10 DOA tournaments, Master had won like 13 of them. So I sat down, win a round, lose a round, win a round, lose a round, win a round, and then Master suddenly just stands up and goes to shake my hand, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, it's done, it's over, congratulations. I look at the screen, and I won by 1 round. So the next day of the draft, you know, they drive us over to the Playboy Mansion, and I got drafted to the Los Angeles team. Quitting my day job, not having any money in the bank, like, this was a huge moment for me. You know, Master gets drafted to the Dallas team, so at the after party, I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, if you intentionally took a dive, it means more to me than you will ever know. And I kind of got a little choked up. For every team, you had a male DOA player and a female DOA player. My team drafted a female who had just picked up DOA, so she really didn't know too much about the game. However, my manager believed because she was a competitive PC player, that she'd be able to pick up DOA pretty quickly. That wasn't the case. DirecTV moved all the players out to LA to film the first season, and my manager had me spending all 8 weeks teaching my teammate how to play this game. So for those 8 weeks that I was out there, I only won like 2 games. I had no practice. Needless to say, come season 2, I didn't get drafted. However, DirecTV had me on the show doing MC work and some hosting stuff, so I'd interview the players, that kind of thing. Now, right after season 2 ended with DirecTV, this other video game TV show came along called WCG Ultimate Gamer. I went out, I auditioned, I got casted, and that whole experience was just equally as crazy. So with all this crazy traveling and all the exciting gaming stuff going on, I had a lot of content to put up on my YouTube channel. A few months later, a mutual friend of mine introduced me to his classmate, a girl by the name of Michelle Fons. Michelle did YouTube and she had like 200,000 subscribers at the time. So we started following each other on Twitter. We started DMing each other. She was like, you need to get up on that partner program and you need to start taking YouTube really serious because your videos are pretty good. Took her advice, skipped forward a year and a half. I'm out in LA for a gaming event and my friend Jacob Patterson takes me to a house party. I walk in, Shay Carl is there, Smosh is there. 30 minutes after I got there, in walks Andrea's Choice and Michelle Fawn. And this was actually the very first time me and Michelle met each other in real life. We sat down on the couch and we pretty much just talked for 2.5 hours. Toward the end of the conversation, she was like, dude, let's just do a collab channel together. After we did our collab channel, both of our individual channels had gotten crazy to the point to where we couldn't even really devote proper time to our gaming channels. And one afternoon, I opened up my email and YouTube had sent me a gift card to buy some camera equipment. Now to some of you guys, that might not mean a whole lot. Even though they sent this gift card to a few hundred other people, I was so honored that I had grabbed the attention of the staff, 1. 2, I had so much admiration for this website. It felt like they believed in me. It's something that cost nothing, yet my entire life, all my friends and family, they couldn't do it. I'm just a boy with a dream, so, and to wrap this all up, I don't know if I'll ever become a film writer or...
Don't you just love getting into arguments with your friends? We're having a civilized conversation, talking all normal, and all of a sudden people start talking like this!
And why can't we always think of the best comebacks for an argument? The day after the argument is over.
And I know you've had people try to suck you into those pointless arguments, like if aliens exist, or if the Illuminati is real. Like, what are you gonna do with the rest of your day that you weren't gonna already do, knowing that aliens are real? Because at the end of it, you're gonna believe what you believe, I'm gonna believe what I believe, but now you wanna fight. And believe me, you don't want this problem. I beat Smash Brothers on hard mode. You don't want this problem, trust. And I've seen Matrix 99 times. Today, you don't want this problem. Speaking of Matrix, I got in an argument one time with my girlfriend over Matrix. Her favorite thing was racism! If we were out eating and the table next to us got their food first, racism! She's playing a game online and she loses, racism! So I'm at her house one day and she busts out with,
Hollywood is full of racism. Even your precious movie, Matrix, is full of racism.
And see, I am well versed in anything that I like, so don't come at me and try my life. Well, what you don't know is the directors of Matrix stole the idea from a black lady and she won in court. However, I'm positive that the whole movie is not some symbolic racism poke. And her aunts, uncles, and cousins were all at the house. And if you pull me into an argument, be very, very careful, because 9 times out of 9, I already have evidence to prove you wrong, but I'm gonna let you dig your hole deeper and deeper. Low key, I'm over here Birdman hand rub, because I'm about to drop a bomb on all these turkeys.
Neo's supposed to be Jesus. Guess who they got to play Neo? Keanu. Racism.
You just don't see it because you're an Uncle Tom, Adonde. And I love when they start making personal attacks on you. What, anyways, so yeah, I let them go on like this for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then I dropped, oh yeah? Matrix is racist? Guess who was one of the first people they offered the role of Neo to? Will flipping Smith. Boom! Drop the mic. Who's your daddy? Me. I showed them some videos of Will Smith's wife talking about how he got the role, and he turned it down. This other time, I was in an Uber with my friend, and I don't know how we got on the topic, but then they said, yeah, when you die, it was your time to go. So I'm like, Yeah, but no.
There's no such thing as accidental death. When it's your time, it's your time.
And sometimes when people sense during a debate that their argument is flimsy, they'll get all personal for no reason.
Well, when I was a little kid, people broke into my house. They put a gun to my head and a knife in my mouth. But then they let me go because it wasn't my time.
Okay, that's nice that they let you go. And I'm sure you're a big fan of the Final Destination movies, but I don't think death is on some schedule and they look at the calendar like, oh,
Time to kill him. When it's your time to die, it's your time to go. No exceptions.
so you're saying death is predetermined on a time schedule and there's no exceptions? Okay, what if we're speeding along in this Uber and I open the door and jump out and the car behind us runs me over? Does that mean it was my time? If that's how you see things, cool. I disagree with your theory and I'm gonna look down at my phone now. And the worst part about all this is when you lose friendships just because you don't see things the way they see things. First, that's not smart. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people, that's great. But think of the benefits by having a few people around who don't think like you. That's all I'm saying. You ever gone to a class and taken a test and you seriously have no clue as to what you're looking at on the page? You start looking around the room, everybody's writing except for you. I hate that feeling. And then the teacher says, okay, when you're done, you can turn in your test and leave. So you wait for like 5 minutes and then you turn in your test and the teacher gives you that look. You get the test back the next time you go to class and blow! Big ol' fat F. Then you say, bump this, I'm studying. But if you're like me, you suffer from chronic procrastination and you wait till the night before to even open your book to study. And then you study like a boss, like you cram sesh in effects. You got that book open and you're studying for hours. You quiz yourself, you cover up the answer, and you read yourself the question. You start hyping yourself up like, what? I'm gonna kill this test. Take the test and blow, big ol' fat F. So I start doing what some of you guys have probably done at some point. I cheat. Yes, I check my emails and I see what some of you ladies are saying. sWooZie, tell us stories about the old you. I know exactly what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, sWooZie, tell us about when you was a bad boy, because I like the bad boys. I'm gonna give you that today. Here we go. I cheat. But I did it wrong at first. I did what I call now freestyle cheating, where you just kind of turn your head and you peek off of the person next to you's paper. But see, I learned you can't do it like that because there's too many random variables where people write their answers all tiny and small and you can't even read it. It used to frustrate the crap out of me. Like, how am I supposed to cheat off you if your answer looks like Braille? People used to either write too tiny or they just wrote too sloppy. Because the sloppier your writing is, the longer I have to stare at your paper to figure out whatever your chicken scratch means. And it makes it pretty obvious that I'm trying to cheat. It would make me so mad. I would just want to take my pencil and throw it at them and then run over and rip up their test. How am I supposed to cheat off you when your handwriting looks like the alien hieroglyphics from Lost? Look, right there, you even drew a bird and the numbers from the hatch. So I tried to freestyle cheat and get my test back, and blow, big ol' fat F. I gave up. I was like, bump it. I'm gonna fail this dumb class. I don't care anymore. But the next test that we had, I started noticing some sketchiness going on in the class. Questionable sounds, like people coughing and sniffling. How come Cheyenne always develops these flu symptoms every time there's a test? And then I saw it. She coughed, and then like 8 people around her all of a sudden would write down an answer. And then she'd sniffle, and the same 8 would write another answer. And I'm like, what the flux capacitor is going on here? This is a multiple choice test. These people are cheating. I look over at the teacher, totally oblivious as to what's going on. I'm like, bump this. Everybody else is cheating. They didn't include me on this. Oh no, it's not going down like this. So I devised a plan. First thing I knew I needed, accomplices. So I got my friend Paul, and I got my friend Josh. I was gonna be the point man, Paul was gonna be the diversion, and Josh didn't do squat, he just got a free ride. So in history class, the day before we actually took the test, he would ask us some of the questions from the answer key. And I'd watch him real carefully. He'd go up to the podium, and he'd always take the answer key with him, and it was always multiple choice. And at the end of class, he would always leave the answer key up there. Alright, so then I get Paul and Josh and I explain my master plan to them. Blueprints, charts, and I go Michael Scofield prison break on these kids. So the day before a test, he gets up like he normally does, goes to the front podium, starts asking us a bunch of questions. The bell rings, he goes back to his desk. Now his name is Mr. Masters. Me and Paul, we give the little signal.
Paul walks over to him and he's like, Mr. Masters, I have some questions about the Embargo Act of 1807. So then I activate phase 2. I walk over to the podium and I open up the answer key and flip to the questions that are going to be on tomorrow's test, and I start talking all loud. Okay, attention class, I'm going to read off all the answers to the test. B, B, C, D, A, B, B, D, C. Mr. Masters looks up like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry, don't worry. Nobody's gonna hear me. Who's gonna sit here and memorize all these answers anyway? A, B, B, C, 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 C. There's nobody here. So then he just shake his head and go back to answering Paul's question. Unbeknownst to the teacher, I've got a tape recorder tucked away in my pocket recording all the answers. Boom! It's not cheating. It's giving yourself a successful advantage. Like a boss. Me, Paul, and Josh meet out on the patio. It's time to memorize this bad boy. Take a wild guess what we do next. We turn those answers into a rap song. What? Let's go. B, B, C, yeah. A, G, D, yeah. A, C, B, B, C, B. Next day we walk into class. We about to handle our business. Stone cold. Game face is on. It's go time. We all sit on opposite ends of the class because we know we're about to get A's. What you gonna do about it? You can't say nothing. But see, now when I start taking these tests, everybody thinks I'm crazy because I'm sitting there mumbling to myself like, Lord of mercy. Get the test back, blow, big old fat A. The teacher's job is to grade the Z's where they can't keep secrets. I mean, I'm gonna keep it raw. We've all heard the words, don't tell anybody, and then we run and tell people. But at a certain point, you gotta understand how secrets work. In case you didn't get the memo, how it goes is I tell you, hey, can you keep a secret? You say, yeah. And you tell one or two other people, they run and tell one or two other people, and so on, and so on. And now all my business is out in the streets. In some cases, I tell this guy a secret, and he tells one of our mutual friends, and that mutual friend comes back to me and tells me that you're running your mouth. Now, you about to get dealt with. I used to be that friend that used to, run and leak some secrets, until that junk blew up all up in my face. I was good friends with this guy named Daryl and his girlfriend Jane, and it's hard being good friends with couples because when they break up, guess who they come running to? You. They break up, I'm on the phone with Daryl, giving him some advice, and then he randomly busts out with, Donde, I'm a good dude. I'm a good dude. Jane think I'm a bad dude. Like, if I was really a bad dude, actually, I can't even say nothing. I can't even. What's up, man? You could tell me. Promise me you won't tell nobody. Especially not Jane. Come on, man. We boys. We dogs. Bruh. You know Jane, okay? I mean, you know Jane, bruh. Bruh. This girl. I mean, I'm not a mean dude. But this girl sent me some pictures of her naked. Buck naked. And if I was a mean dude, I done put these things all up on the internet. Promise you won't say nothing to nobody, especially not Jane. You promise? I promise. Okay. Click. Beep, 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 beep. Jane. Girl. You ain't gonna believe it. I just got off the phone with Daryl. I'm about to tell you something, but you gotta promise you ain't gonna say nothing to him, okay? He told me he got some pictures of you naked. But he said he ain't gonna show them to nobody. But he was just saying if he was a mean dude, he would show them to people. I knew you longer than I knew him, so I'm just, my allegiance is with you. Don't say nothing to him, you promised. How about 45 minutes later, I get a call from Daryl. I trusted you. Crying on the phone, snot bubbles and all. Jane ran and told Daryl. I got mad at Jane, but at the same time, she did the same thing that I did. So, the next time somebody tells you something and then you hear the words, don't tell nobody, do yourself a favor. Don't tell nobody. People that have worked there for 15 years and they have their little pen and they've met their boyfriend or girlfriend there and they're getting married on property and it's a whole Disney themed wedding. Yeah, you got those people there. You got the people that take their job too seriously. You have the costume and the non-costume. You got the non-costume people, they're smiling all the time. They're just a little bit awkward to be around. And then you have the costume people who believe they are those Disney characters. Kids are sitting on a bench somewhere, drinking a soda, and they'll run up and slap the drink out of the kids' hands. Like, kids, quick, come on! I just stole this loaf of bread from the marketplace because I'm poor. And guess what? You're poor too. Sultan's guards are coming. Let's run. Let's sing a song while we run. Gotta keep one jump ahead of the lawmen. I never had a problem working with those people. Okay, then you got the people like me who would show up to work on time, clock in, do their job, clock out, not cause any problems. And I love working with people like me because I'm awesome. Now the people I didn't like working with,
the snitches. And Disney snitches are the worst. Their sole objective when they come to work is to pretty much just rat and snitch on everybody else. They think they're like spies. In reality, they're coming to work and they're jumping into their 1984 Honda Civic, but in their mind, they're in an Aston Martin cruising in an MI6. Like they're a 00 agent and they work for British Secret Intelligence. There was one day I went into work and they put me outside of my ride and I was not in the best of moods to be all smiley. And in the corner of my eye, I see the other greeter standing there and he's just there tapping his foot. You know, he's staring at me with his hands on his hips like, oh, he thinks he's all slick. I see him go over to the phone. 2 minutes later, a manager shows up. Anyways, I got reprimanded that day and I'm like, dude, you're 38. Why are you ratting on some 16-year-old? Like really, man, come on. But oh, don't get me started on the managers over there, okay? I can't talk for other Disney parks, but the managers at MGM in my section, oh, wow. Okay, so we had 5 managers, and they would rotate every week, and 4 out of those 5 managers hated my guts. One of them was black, and you'd figured the one black guy would be the one that liked me. No. The black guy hated me the most. See, you can't give some black people power. We're your best friend until you hand us that clipboard. And then as soon as we get that clipboard, all of a sudden we think in our own minds we're Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats, and we rule over all of Third Earth and Thundera. Like, you can't give some black people that clipboard. Now, the managers didn't start off harassing me. Like, this happened about 6 months in, and everything was magical at first. Like, at orientation, that was probably the best orientation I've ever had for any of my jobs ever. Like, they group all the new people up, they let you skip the lines, and we all go on rides together. You play team building games with your whole group, and it's like they seal the deal with free food. One thing I will say, Disney has the best employee food anywhere. It's pretty much the same thing they feed the guests, but it's like 70% off. And I can't speak for anybody else, but if you ever want me to do something, doesn't matter how crazy it is, take me out and give me free food. If that orientation lady would have sat down next, I probably shouldn't even say this on this video, but anyways, if that orientation lady would have sat down next to me and leaned over and whispered like all quiet, like, Adonde, we're glad you're having a good time. Welcome to the team, but we need you to kidnap the Prime Minister of Australia's daughter tonight. I would have looked up at her like, yo, get me on a plane now. Forget Inception and we have to go 4 layers deep and plant a little idea of seed like a parasite. No. If you want me to do anything, bump all that. Just like take me to P.F. Chang's and buy me like $200 worth of food. Disney knows what they're doing, but they kind of brainwash their employees, and it's not a natural thing. I mean, to smile for 8 hours a day, every day, and listen to that same every single day, your eye starts to twitch. And you start to like tick, like you get these weird little ticks. There's gonna be some side effects. Same way there's side effects with Viagra, you know, like if your excitement lasts for more than 14 days, please consult a physician. See, those kind of side effects, like they warn you about. But at Disney, they never warn you about the side effects. Disney employees, they snap. And you never see the ones that snap because it's always when you go to lunch break, you raise your hand to clock out, and then something psychologically fires in your mind. And you just turn into a zombie and you just keep walking to the parking lot and just jump in their car and just go. You should never come back. I snapped. And you just become self-aware, you know, you want to stop working, but you just figure, So what do? I start showing up late on purpose. First it was 5 minutes, then it was 10 minutes, then I bumped it up to 30 minutes, and nobody would notice. I had to step it up a little bit. So what do I do next? I start stealing. And I didn't want to steal anything too crazy. Like, I didn't want to get in any serious trouble. So what do I steal? Okay? First I started stealing pencils. I'm Disney brainwashed, you know what I'm saying? So, like, stealing pencils is a big deal. And obviously, nobody noticed. So, what do I start stealing? In front of the Indiana Jones show, we have a magnetic clipboard that we post the times. Yeah, no more 8:30 shows. I stole all the 8:30 show magnets. I don't know what came over me. I was just standing there, I was like, boom, you're coming with me. Thug life, baby. Okay, get on my level. And then one night, you know, my shift is over, I'm about to go home, and then some random manager from a completely other section of the park comes up to me, he's like, hey, kid, what's your name tag say? Adamantium, come with me. I'm walking with this guy, I'm like, what's up, man, I'm about to go home. He's like, no, you're not going home. We need you. All right, a company just rented out the parks, and they only rented out half the park. So you see over there by Star Wars, where there's no light and it's pitch black and there's a bunch of roaches scattering around and Lord knows what over there? We need you to stand there for about 3 hours. And I'm looking at this guy like,
You're kidding, right? I gotta go home, man. I got school tomorrow. You're like, well, look, buddy, I'm sorry. Okay, we all got things to do tomorrow, but you gotta stand over there. In case any guests get lost, we need you to stand over there in the darkness, and if they walk over to you, redirect them back over to civilization where all the partying is, okay? We're gonna all be over here. You stand right over there. I'm like, okay, well, how long do I have to stand over there? Maybe a few hours. I'll come and let you know. I'm over there standing, and the longer I stand there, the more heated I get. This guy's talking to me like I'm a mutt. He's talking to me like I'm an animal? What do you think I am? Why am I the only person standing over here? I don't see anybody else. I quit. I'm done. I'm out of here. Peace. I'm walking. I'm done. That's it. I don't care what happens. I am done. I hope that guy sees me walking out. And as I'm about to get to wardrobe to clock out, I look down the street, and all I see are Disney chefs, and the entire road is full of just free Disney food. Chefs are tossing pancakes in the air in slow motion. You got chefs on the grill. Free food galore, and that comes as one of the packages. Like, you can rent out the park, and the entire park is catered. I gotta get some of this food. But it's like all rich old people around. Like, I can't blend in right now. You know, I assess the situation and I realize, okay, 1, I'm rehiring myself. 2, I gotta find out what the deal is with all this. So next day I come into work and I pull aside one of the employees that have been there for like 3 years, and I'm like, yeah, people can rent out the parks? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, crazy question, I know. So they always have free food like that? Or how does that work? Like, yeah, they always get free food. Okay. Crazy question. I mean, what if an employee, like, got caught sneaking in and trying to eat some of the free food? I know that's crazy, right? And she looked at me and she was like, termination on the spot. Okay. That's how I'm going out. I'm going out in an orchestra of bacon, sausage, and eggs. So about a month later, another group rents out the park. So now I'm just sizing everybody up. I'm like, no, still, I can't blend in with you guys. But 2 months after that, a high school rents out the entire park. And we only have 2 shows at Indiana Jones that night. So I'm telling myself, this is it. This is it. We do our 2 shows, and the instant that second show ends, I'm like, phew! Like I ninja. Like I'm hopping from rooftops on the Disney rides to get to wardrobe. I change, and now my new mission is, how do I get back wearing civilian clothing without any security seeing you? I spent too many hours playing Metal Gear Solid. Hideo Kojima, do not fail me now, okay? I'm leaning up against walls. I'm in bushes. I had the little cardboard box that I'm creeping around in. You know, in the security walk. You ain't gonna hear that. I make it back out there. I grab a plate, and it's like hamburgers, chicken, pasta. I'm eating French toast for no reason. They have seafood, steak, ribs, Pillsbury Doughboy is like doing cartwheels in the background like hee 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 hee. They have fish, they have everything. They have gummy berry juice. You know, from the cartoon, the potion that they drink, they have the real gummy berry juice there. I ate so much food. Oh my gosh. I showed them. My kids might be obese because of some of the stuff that I did that night. And then I realized, like, crap, I don't want to be the one kid that's running around by himself eating all this food, so I gotta blend in. So I look around and I find these group of kids, and I just kind of chameleon my way into their little clique. Next thing you know, me and my new BFFs, we're going on all the rides together. It was one of the best nights of my life. They never caught me. They never found out about it. Yeah, Disney. I'm super anxious before I take a test, and then I get really depressed after I do bad on a test. We had kids in my class who were getting gray hairs in middle school. Some of y'all are probably like, sWooZie, if they were Asian, it's all genetics. No, it's not. See, I know my Asian friends secretly stress out like crazy because if they came home and they weren't on the honor roll, there were gonna be severe consequences. Walk in the house like, Dad, I got 2 C's on my report card.
What? You get a 2C on your report card? You disgrace your whole family! Time to die!
And see, with me, I would try studying, but there would always be that moment where I just kind of snap out of study mode and realize what I'm staring at on the page, and it'd be like y squared minus x plus 6. And I think to myself, yes, this is totally never gonna help me in life. Bump all of this, okay? I'm gonna go watch TV. And see, when I was in middle school, me and my dad made a little deal. He told me if I made the honor roll, he would buy me a 27-inch TV and let me put it in my bedroom. And see, the one class I did not have to worry about was French class. The teacher would just teach us French words and then teach us basic conversation. And once a week, she would turn off all the lights and we'd watch Beauty and the Beast, completely dubbed in French. The class was the easy A until we actually got textbooks. Masculine, feminine nouns, conjugating verbs, prepositions, like bump all of that. And I get to that first written test, conjugate the following verbs into past, present, and future. What? Get this crap out my face. I'll be danged if this is the class that holds me back from getting that 27-inch TV. And then something just tells me, look over to your left. My boy Josh is like burning through this test. He is like quietly singing Be Our Guest in French. C'est la fête, c'est la fête. And that same little voice in my head just whispers, cheat off of him. My eyes kind of just scrolled down to his paper and my hand just started reflexively writing down everything I saw and boom, B+. So next test comes along and y'all already know I'm cheating. Okay, I wasn't always a goody-goody. I used to be up in the clubs popping bottles, but it's cool because Josh was one of my best friends at the time, so I knew he wouldn't even mind. Next test comes along, Josh gets an A, I get an A. Fast forward to the next test, I'm sitting there practically flipping through the Best Buy catalog, and I notice Josh is moving a little bit slower on this test than he normally does. He fills out an answer, I fill out an answer. Then there's a pause. They fill out another answer, and then I'll fill out an answer. And there's another pause, and then I hear him say, Adonde, stop cheating off of me. Okay, I'ma act like I ain't even hear him say that, okay? Then he writes another answer. I wait for a second, and then I write an answer. And then he says it a little bit louder. He's like, Adonde, stop cheating on me. Shh, Josh, just let it happen. Just let it happen. Fermez la bouche. Fermez la bouche. So there's a long pause. He writes down another answer. I wait for like 30 seconds, and then I write down an answer. Miss Price, Adonde's cheating off of me! Yelled it out in front of the whole class. I'm not even exaggerating, y'all. Needless to say, I got an F on that test, a C in the class, and no honor roll. See, Josh is lucky my thug levels had gone down by the time I got into middle school, because the old me would have been waiting for him outside the class, and as soon as he stepped out, get all up in his face like, my dude, why you snitching? This is not a game. What, you think this is a game? Now I gotta open up a can on you, partner. I didn't choose the thug life. Thug life. One time, we were on the monorail, and there was a little girl standing by the door, and I kind of twitched and put my hand out, and I was like, Madam, please stand clear of the door. Por favor, manténgase alejado de las puertas. My mom looked at me and she was like, you're failing high school Spanish, but you just fluently told that little girl to get away from the door and sit down. I don't know what you're talking about. I just blacked out. What did I say? That was the second time I ever rode the monorail. Tell me how I knew that. They're brainwashing us. Now, if Disney brainwashes their employees, just imagine for a second what they might do to the people that bring money into the parks. Think about it. From the time you drive over that invisible line and you're on Disney's property, you see over 100 subliminal Mickeys on an average trip to the park. And I would sit back and wonder what it was like for the first wave of cast members, like back in the 50s and 60s, like that first cast member that realized that something was up. Probably went to his manager like, is it just me, or is Mickey's face in a lot of places around here that it shouldn't be? Well, golly, son, what do you mean? Is everything okay? No, it's just weird because I'll work a regular shift here and then I'll clock out and go home, and every time I close my eyes, I see Mickey's face. Gee willikers, well, I better look into this right away. Give me 1 second.
He knows. Send in the cleaner.
I'm just telling y'all, watch out for the subliminal Mickeys. Do they call them hidden Mickeys now because it sounds less brainwashy? You know, the general public started finding out about this, so they decided to make it like a game, like,
Hey, everybody, go see how many hidden Mickeys you can find.
the kids run off like,
Yeah, let's get Mickey tattoos on our forehead.
Oh, and before I forget, last Disney Confessions, I told you guys how amazing the Disney food was. Disney has turned me into a liar now because I went back there 2 months ago, and the food quality has gone way down. And for whatever reason, they doubled the price. You know you got a problem when me and all my black friends come to the parks and we won't even eat your chicken. I mean, that's code red. Okay, moving on. Attention would-be troublemakers that go into Disney, don't go up in there trying to be all cute. Let me tell you why. A lot of you don't know this, but Disney has secret service. I came into work one day, I'm walking up to greeter spot, and this guy in t-shirt and jeans comes up and he's like, which way did they go? Girl was like, that away! Pew! Took off. I go up to her and I'm like, what the heck was that all about?
Some punk kids just stole from one of the vendors.
And who was that guy that just came up to you?
Disney Secret Service.
What?
Disney has special security that dresses up like guests, and they blend in. Don't ever tell anybody, okay?
Okay, I won't. And see, that info changed a lot for me because this was the weekend right after I stole all the 8:30 shows. This cancels out pretty much 90% of all my other devious plots that I had in motion. And the managers, every time I came in for a shift, was still going out of their way to make my job as painful as possible. You know, I actually tried to transfer to Tower of Terror because that was my favorite ride at the time. I get to Tower of Terror, there's a 10-year wait to transfer over there. What I found out was at the time, that was the only Disney ride on any Disney property that you didn't have to smile. You could show up looking all depressed like you hate life, and it worked because it themed with the overall ride. And everybody thinks that you're just in character. People from Disneyland Tokyo were trying to get up into that ride. And to be completely honest, I loved working at Indiana Jones, so I figured if I can't get into Tower of Terror, I'm just gonna stick it out here. But the managers would just harass me daily. It got so bad, y'all, that I had to start taking my breaks in other people's break rooms. And something I learned really quick is Disney spoils the crap out of their character performers. In my break room, we got a rinky-dink TV from 1988, a VCR, and that's it. I walk into one of these character break rooms, they got a flat screen, snack bar, guitar hero. A lot of you guests will never know this because you never see behind the curtain, and honestly, you know what? I'm okay with that. It's just these managers. One day, Ron humiliated me so bad in front of the entire staff, and obviously, I can't do nothing to him. He's my manager. So you know who I took it out on? The guests. So I'm at Indiana Jones, show started. We had two main rules at Epic. Don't let anybody sit in the aisles on the stairs, and don't let anybody in through the exits once the show starts. That's it. I'm posted at the second exit. This family walks up to me and Dad goes,
Yes, me and my family, we're visiting from England, and if it's not too much trouble, sir, could we just sit right over there on that empty bench, please?
Sorry, man. Once the show starts, can't let anybody in.
We've only missed 10 minutes, so we visited the other parks, and the bus just took so terribly long. We leave for the airport in about 40 minutes. If we could just sit right over there on that bench, sir, please.
Sorry, man. Can't let anybody in through the exit once the show starts.
Sir, but we're from England.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, please, I've spent all of my money on this trip. Once we get back home in England, I have to leave my family and work on an oil rig for 6 months, sir, because we have no more money.
For 6 months?
Yes, sir, please.
No.
Please, please, let's let me and my family in. We're from England.
No.
Please, sir. Sir, we just want to see Indy. Please, my children love Indy, sir. Please. You see that rock over there, sir? We'll even sit on the rock. Look at the sharp edges, sir. We probably cut ourselves and bleed to death on it. We don't care. Just please. Please. Please.
Let me think about it. No.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
And he turned and he started walking away with his family. I was like, Adonde, don't look. Ice cold. All right, you're just doing your job. I did take a glance over my shoulder. They didn't look happy. Fast forward 2 years, I get a job as a lifeguard working at Hard Rock Hotel, and I'm sitting up by the pool watching the water. Boom, it just hits me. It's like, dude, you ruined their vacation. That little boy was crying as he walked away. You know what? From this day on, I'm gonna go out of my way and strive to be the best employee that I can possibly be. I'm not gonna get in competition with any of my coworkers. I'm just gonna try to outdo myself. Would you guys believe that it got to the point where I was walking out of my job with $150 cash in my pocket from tips? That's unheard of as a lifeguard. I don't care if you're retail, hospitality, cast member, non-cast member. I'm gonna challenge you to be the best, whatever it is that you're doing. When you guys develop really good work ethics, you can apply that stuff to other parts of your life, and trust me, it'll open up a whole new world.